There exists a realm on this planet where humanity has never truly conquered the land. A place so impossibly vast, so incredibly dense, that it defies our modern desire to map, control, and tame the wild. Here, the canopy is woven so tightly, millions of leaves overlapping like dragon scales, that the sunlight simply dies before it ever kisses the forest floor. You could walk for days in perpetual twilight, surrounded by an ocean of green that stretches out for 5.5 million square kilometers across 9 different nations. Down here in the dark, the air is thick, suffocatingly humid. The smell of damp, ancient earth fills your lungs. And in this darkness, nothing is empty. Behind every massive, moss-covered trunk, beneath every murky riverbank, and within every shifting shadow, hides a secret that modern science is still struggling to understand. We have mapped the craters of the moon and the valleys of Mars, yet the deepest pockets of this jungle remain a blank space on our maps. This is the Amazon. It is a vault of millions of untold stories, thousands of undiscovered species, and forgotten human truths. By the end of this journey, you will understand why the Amazon is not merely a forest. It is the very beating heart and the breathing lungs of our world. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine the Earth as a massive, living, breathing organism. Where would its lungs be located? Science answered this long ago. Every single morning, as the sun warms the canopy, this immense green expanse breathes out. It pumps out an astonishing amount of pure oxygen and moisture into the atmosphere, creating literal rivers of flying water in the sky. To put it into perspective, out of every 5 breaths you take right now, one of them was gifted to you by the Amazon. But its job doesn't end with creating life. It also shields us from death. The billions of trees here act as a colossal planetary sponge. Every year, the Amazon absorbs roughly 2.2 billion tons of carbon dioxide. It silently drinks away the poisonous smog, the greenhouse gases, and the invisible pollution vomited into the sky by the world's factories and highways. It locks that poison deep within its roots and soil, asking for absolutely nothing in return. But what keeps a beast of this magnitude alive? What waters the roots of 390 billion trees? The answer lies in its lifeblood, the Amazon River. Stretching an unfathomable 6,400 kilometers from the icy peaks of the Andes, all the way to the coast, it is a watery Leviathan. Calling it a river feels like an insult. It is an inland sea. Every single second, it violently pushes 29,000 cubic meters of water toward the ocean. That is more water than the next 7 largest independent rivers in the world. The sheer kinetic force of this river is almost impossible to comprehend. When it finally crashes into the Atlantic Ocean, it doesn't just mix with the sea, it fights it. The Amazon pushes back the heavy salt water with such violence that it creates a massive plume of fresh drinking water, extending an astonishing 160 kilometers out into the open ocean. Sailors historically could drop a bucket over the side of their ship while completely out of sight of land and full of sweet, fresh Amazonian water. During the wet season, the Amazon River swells. It rises by up to 15 meters, flooding the forest and transforming the jungle into a surreal underwater world. Beneath this muddy surface lies an ecosystem that left even Charles Darwin speechless. With over 3,000 known species of fish, the Amazon makes all the rivers of Europe combined look like a barren, lifeless puddle. Entire ecosystems thrive in the sunken branches of massive trees. But the true sovereign of these dark waters is not a fish at all. It is a creature shrouded in ancient myth. The Boto, the pink river dolphin. Born completely gray, they slowly turn a deep, mesmerizing pink as they age, scarred by the battles of the river. But their vibrant color isn't their most fascinating trait. These dolphins possess brains 40% larger than a human's, and unlike ocean dolphins, their neck vertebrae are completely unfused. This allows them to snap their heads 180 degrees, weaving gracefully through the dense, sunken roots where no human boat could ever trespass. To the indigenous tribes who have shared these waters for millennia, the Boto is not just an animal. It is a god. Local folklore whispers warnings of the Encantado, the Shapeshifters. They say that under the cover of night, when the river is lit only by the moon, these pink dolphins emerge from the water and transform into stunningly beautiful humans. They dress in white, wearing hats to hide their blowholes, and wander into river villages. They enchant the locals with hypnotic charm, leading the love-struck victims back into the dark water, never to be seen again. Just a myth? Perhaps. But when a legend survives for thousands of years in a place this dark, you have to wonder, where does the fiction end and the truth begin? While the dolphin represents the magic of the Amazon, another creature represents its absolute, unforgiving terror. The green Anaconda. The heaviest snake on the planet, growing up to 9 meters long and weighing a staggering 250 kilograms. On land, the Anaconda is incredibly sluggish, vulnerable even. But when it slips into the water, it becomes a phantom. In the Amazon, death rarely announces itself with a roar. It doesn't sprint at you across a savanna. It approaches in absolute silence. The Anaconda doesn't hunt with venom. It hunts with inevitability. Perfectly camouflaged in the milky depths, it waits. It strikes with lightning speed, dragging its prey underwater, wrapping its massive, muscular coils around the victim. Every time the prey exhales, the snake tightens the embrace. Just a little more, and a little more. Yet, as wild and untamed as the animals are, the human story of the Amazon is even more mind-bending. Deep within the unbreakable green canopy, completely isolated from the chaos of the 21st century, live people who do not even know the modern world exists. No smartphones, no internet, no concept of the countries they technically live inside. According to Brazilian authorities, there are over 100 uncontacted tribes currently wandering the deepest, most inaccessible sectors of the forest. When survey helicopters fly over their remote settlements, they don't wave. They respond by firing longbow arrows into the sky, and they have a damn good reason to be hostile. Throughout history, whenever the outside world has reached them, it has brought nothing but enslavement, deforestation, and death. Strict international laws now prohibit anyone from making contact with them. Why? Because a simple sneeze from a modern human carries pathogens that could wipe out an entire tribe overnight. Their immune systems are ancient, but so is their knowledge. These tribes hold the true secrets of the forest. They know which rare root cures severe infections. They know which toxic frog venom can be altered to heal the body. It is a priceless library of biological knowledge passed down orally for over 10,000 years. If these tribes vanish, those ancient secrets die with them forever. But perhaps the greatest secret of the Amazon isn't hiding in the trees. It is buried right beneath the dirt. Let me take you back to 1906. A legendary British explorer named Colonel Percy Fawcett ventured into the brutal, unmapped wilderness of the Amazon basin. He survived diseases, starvation, and jaguar attacks to map the unmappable. But over time, Fawcett became driven entirely by a magnificent, consuming obsession. He believed, with absolute certainty, that hidden deep in the impenetrable heart of the jungle was an ancient, hyper-advanced metropolis built of stone and gold. A civilization that predated European history. He called it the Lost City of Z. The scientific community at the time laughed at him. They claimed the Amazon soil was too poor, the environment too harsh to ever support a large civilization. They called it a counterfeit paradise. But in 1925, Fawcett, along with his eldest son Jack, walked into the jungle to find the city of Z one last time. They never returned. The jungle swallowed them whole. In the decades that followed, over 100 rescuers and explorers ventured in to find Fawcett. Dozens of them vanished too. It became the greatest exploration mystery of the 20th century. But Fawcett wasn't crazy. He based his theory on old, forgotten Portuguese manuscripts and the discovery of something entirely out of place: Terra Preta. Deep in the wild, explorers kept finding patches of mysterious, incredibly fertile, jet-black soil. This soil was loaded with ancient charcoal, bone, and broken terracotta pottery. It wasn't natural. Someone, thousands of years ago, was farming here, on a massive, industrial scale. For nearly a century, the world thought Fawcett was chasing a ghost, a madman's delusion. But in 2017, modern science finally vindicated the lost explorer. Using a groundbreaking technology called LiDAR, firing millions of laser pulses from aircraft to digitally strip away the dense tree canopy and reveal the bare ground beneath, scientists looked down at the Amazon from above. What they saw on their monitors sent shockwaves through the entire archaeological world. There, hidden completely beneath the vines and roots, invisible to anyone walking on the ground, were the perfect geometric outlines of massive, interconnected cities. We're talking about vast networks of raised ancient roads, gigantic circular plazas, defensive fortresses, agricultural terraces stretching for miles. The Amazon wasn't always an untouched, pristine wilderness. Thousands of years ago, it was home to a thriving, hyper-interconnected civilization of up to 10 million people. They conquered the jungle. But then, something apocalyptic happened. Was it a massive drought, a brutal civil war, or was it the invisible wave of European diseases brought by the very first Spanish explorers that swept up the river, killing millions before a single conquistador ever laid eyes on them? We simply don't know. The people vanished, and the jungle, relentless and unforgiving, simply swallowed their cities, reclaiming its territory and burying the greatest human story never told.
If you love this journey into the dark unknown, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with a fellow explorer, and subscribe so you never miss an adventure.